So as a kid growing up in the 70s, I was like most boys. I wanted to be outside most of the time and you'd have to drag me in. But there was one day of the week when one show would come on, I would stop everything I was doing to make sure I was in, and I made sure I had everything done, and I made sure I was ready for it, and that was the $6 Million Man. The $6 Million Man was an iconic show from my childhood. And this was before Star Wars came out, like 3-4 years before Star Wars did. Because once Star Wars hit, that kind of took over every boy's childhood for the most part. But up until then, man, the $6 Million Man was the first IP that I can honestly say that I was so in love with. I remember when I was a kid, and I was like 5 or 6, and I came home from school and I had 2 presents. And one of them was the iconic $6 Million Man doll and the Maskatron doll. I'll never forget, it was the best birthday I ever had, and I played with those things forever. I still have them to this day. I've passed them to my son. I had to get one of the arms replaced, the one that had the rubber sleeve, because the rubber had dry rotted on it. But I replaced it, and it was well worth it. It's just something good to pass down. And I've noticed that a lot of stuff that's on TV nowadays it's just not family oriented. You can't sit down and watch it like, I used to do with my parents. And that was something that my whole family, we would sit down and watch that show because I was so into it. And my mom wasn't going to let me miss it. And it's just something I cherish because, I miss my mom and my dad. And it just reminds me of them. And it's just, the show basically, like I said, Lee Majors, he plays an iconic role with that. It's basically a NASA test flight pilot who gets in a crash, and he's critically wounded, and he has to have bionic implants. I think it was both of his arms, his leg, and his eye. And it enables him to run fast, have super strength, and see for miles away. And I will never forget the iconic sound of his bionics. The da-da-da-da. I'll never forget that. That's just one of those things that's just embedded in most boys, or most men my age now, when they were boys, they would run and make that sound. Everybody did that. And I will never forget the iconic, stories and the acting. And like I said, it's from the camp. It's campy because it was from the 70s. And I recently got the box set, and I've really been, enjoying it. It just takes me down memory lane, and it's one of those things where I just really miss wholesome TV like that, where you could sit down with the entire family and just watch something. And like I said, the writing's good, the acting's good. And let's be honest, Lee Majors as the $6 Million Man, he is iconic in that role. I don't care what anyone says. And if you watch and listen to the intro of that show, it still gives you chills. The whole we can rebuild him. That thing, I don't know, it still gives me goosebumps to this day when I watch that. And like I said, it didn't last very long. Up until the late 70s, I think it was 78 when it finally got taken off air. But by then, Star Wars had came out, and it had started dominating every little boy's fantasies, and that's what little boys went into. It was Star Wars at that point. But up until then, man, G.I. Joe, the $6 Million Man, that was it. And I'm not even kidding. Some of the episodes, like I said, were so iconic. It was, rather it be the Venus probe, or when he was fighting with the androids, or I'll never forget the iconic episodes with Bigfoot, especially the first one with Andre the Giant. And I'll be honest, man, Bigfoot was a phenomenon in the 70s. It was everywhere. It just exploded, and it was into everything. And I'll never forget that episode when Andre the Giant played Bigfoot. It scared the hell out of me. But, it's just one of those things, man, where it was, like I said, it was of its time, and I'll never forget it. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you watched it and you enjoyed it as a kid. Leave me a comment. I do read them. Also, like, share, and subscribe. Follow me over on Rumble and follow me over on X. Until next time, I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.